I want to now turn our attention to seeking professional help to diagnose ADHD. Now, one of the reasons why this matters, so let me just give you an example of this. A few years ago, I was working I'm a professional therapist. I'm working with a client. He's a 7th year senior in college. And he comes into my office and he sits down and his wife is with him and I'm just observing his behavior, the fidgetiness. And at a certain point in our session, his knee and legs start going whoop, 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 and Thumper's in my office as he's talking. And I'm like, okay, I probably ought to assess for ADHD. So I just give him a book that just has a short assessment, and he scores off the charts high, 7th year senior in college. And I said, have you ever been assessed for ADHD? And he said, maybe 6th grade. I thought, well, what happened? Well, I might have taken medication for a month, but I didn't really like it, and we never really followed up with it, and that was it. So I started asking more questions like, is it hard to pay attention in class? Do you easily forget things? Are you a thrill seeker? Do you do, whether it's mountain biking or rock climbing or in just one intense behaviors or activities? It's like, check, check, check. And I said, okay, here's the results from your assessment. I want you to go speak to a professional who can prescribe medication. So he goes and gets the medication. A couple weeks later, I see him and he said, I don't know if I want to admit this, but it's true. I was sitting in class yesterday, and for the first time in my entire college career, I actually paid attention to the entire lecture. Now, I thought to myself, what would have happened if he would have had continuous support and knowledge about ADHD and how it influences you earlier in his life? What if he spent 3 extra years in college getting his degree? Now, the critical part I'm hoping to get across here is if we can understand the symptoms, there is so much research of how to support individuals with ADHD. My hope is that as you go through this as a parent, you're like, okay, I'm gonna be aware of this. So right now, I'm gonna go through the symptoms step by what the CDC at our government says these are the common symptoms of ADHD.